Hey guys, welcome back to our travels. Today we're in Helsinki for our second day. Today we're in Helsinki for our second day. Later today we're taking the night train up to Rovaniemi to see Santa's village, but we're gonna start by going to the market and grabbing some snacks for lunch to take out to the Fortress, which is on a little island out in the bay.
But now before we are checking out the church. It's a big, beautiful Orthodox church behind us, but we are going to the market to buy gum with lonkero on it. So let's see what lonkero tastes like here in Finland. I don't understand the price. $5.19
for 18 eggs, or
18 eggs.
15 eggs.
15 eggs, €5.
Yeah, over here you can buy by the piece, half a euro per egg.
2 eggs, €1. They have big pretzels, huge. They don't have a price.
Oh, cakes and pastries, $1 to $2 each.
Ben's Tapped Donuts. Anything?
Some prices are more expensive. Like, look, a little mayonnaise, €5. A low ball of olive oil, €9.
Almost $2 for olives. Ketchup $3.19. Let's see some meat. They have two prices. They have one in KPL and one in euros.
In kilograms, so it's easier to compare prices.
So let's see, we find the cake. This is cake.
A fruit vanilla cake, €10.
15.
No, it's €10 for the
10
piece.
euros.
If it was a kilogram, it would
I
be
see.
$15.50 a
So
kilogram.
15.57 per kilogram.
It's nice that they put all the prices in kilograms so you can price compare easier.
The bread here, this piece, it costs €2.19. This is the bread I like with a cheesy bread, 5 pieces, it costs $2.24. We find the candy aisle, but I don't know which. I think salmiakki, it's the thing.
Salmiakki?
Salmiakki is right here, $3.65. But I need to make sure that's what I want. I need to look at my notes.
So people say that bottled water is expensive here, and they are right. €3 for a big bottle of water.
But this one is $2.09.
Not terrible, but the tap water is really good here. So
So what would you pay for?
just fill up your water bottles.
How much is the Coke?
Soda, Coke, $3.40 for a 2-liter of Coke. Well, that's weird. The Coke Zero is cheaper than the Coca-Cola.
But I find my salmiakki.
Candies, it's sort of like black licorice and mint combined, I guess.
I'm
That's
gonna
the closest
try
I
them.
can say. What else? Let's see, milk. This milk is, I don't know, $2.70 for a half a gallon. This is where things get expensive here. One beer, €5, €4. It is not cheap to drink here. $2.70 for a 12-ounce beer. Liquor is very, very expensive in Finland. So our second stop of the day after visiting the grocery store is the Orthodox Cathedral here.
Uspenski Cathedral is a Greek Orthodox or Eastern Orthodox cathedral in Helsinki, Finland, and main cathedral of the Orthodox Church in Finland, dedicated to the dormitory Theotos. Its name comes from Old Church Slavonic word uspenie, which denotes the dormition. It is the largest Greek Orthodox church in the Western Europe. It was inaugurated on October 25th, 1868, and they used 700,000 bricks for it.
All right, hopefully this is the right ferry. Yeah, it looks like it. So we're gonna take the ferry out to the old Fortress Island next and go check that out. Hopefully we can figure out how to get onto the ferry here. So that was our boat, but we missed it. It sailed away before we got here. Whew, that was a cold wind. At least it's not raining today. So I think that ferry goes every 40 minutes, or that's what Google Maps seems to think. So we're gonna go visit the old market over here. It's supposed to be a really cool indoor market, and there's also a public restroom near it. Yay! So since we got about a half hour to kill till the ferry, we're checking out Gamla Saluhallen, which, I don't know. On Google Maps, it's called the old market. It's been here since 1889, I believe it said. A bunch of small vendors in here, coffee shops, restaurants. It's like a little arcade, or yeah. It smells like food. I don't know Indian food, but it smells like food.
It is food. Look at it.
Sandwiches, cakes, bagels. Ooh, that looks like a good Danish. This does look like a good place to try some local seafood. All sorts of shrimp salads, pickled fishes, fried fish, salmon, smoked salmon. Ooh, look at that. Trout. It's good. Wow, lots of different seafood options. Smoked reindeer.
Here they have baklava and they have halva. The traditional smoked salmon soup. That is good for people who like salmon. And I'm still looking for my cafe latte.
Maybe we come back after we visit the fortress and eat lunch.
Yeah, we're gonna eat lunch over here. I don't even know what meringue is.
The meringue with flavor.
Meringue with flavor?
Probably strawberry and chocolate. Well, that's a reindeer plushie.
If I don't find the reindeer in Rovaniemi, I'm gonna
That's your
buy
reindeer?
more reindeer. Or I'm gonna eat their food. The church is so big and impressive. You can see from all over, almost everywhere in Helsinki. And like you see, inside is beautiful. And our boat is coming, so we're gonna go on the boat and we're gonna go to the fortress. So let's get going to the fortress here in Helsinki.
So here's where you get the ferry. Port number 5. It's part of the metro system, so it's 310 and it is on your Helsinki card. Here's our ferry. Hopefully, if we're doing this right. We're doing it right, babe?
We're doing perfectly.
All right.
The kids go that way, I go that way.
All right. get windy up here?
No! What's that wind?
Sort of cool with all these little islands. They're like hunks of granite that are still here. Some of them you can still see the fortress that they built around them. See the rock wall around that one?
No. Oh yeah. It's pretty.
It is really pretty.
But very, very windy, so I'm guessing...
It is windy today. Well, we made it out to Suomenlinna. This is the little island with the fortress. Some of the buildings are closed for the winter, but there's still, I think, 2 of the museums open. The military museum and like the general museum. But we'll find out. So on the island, it's well signed. We're gonna go to the military museum first because we know it's open. And just walking around is really cute. There's a bunch of cottages, cafes, things of that nature on the island. A lot more buildings than I thought there would be. The construction of the Via Porti fortress began in 1748 after the Swiss lost Finland to Russia as a result of the War of 1809. Plans were made to build a church. Tsar Nicholas I assigned the task to the architect Thorn. The Orthodox Church, which was intended for use for the Russian garrison, was completed and dedicated in 1854. Suomenlinna Church was dedicated to the memory of Grand Prince Alexander Nevsky. Originally, the church served as a Russian garrison of Via Porti. After Finland became independent, the church was converted into an evangelical Lutheran church according to the plans created by architect Einar Sludstrom. The church, while located in a separate bell tower on the side of the church, is the largest in Finland. It was cast in Moscow in 1885 and weighs 6,683 kilograms. The organ manufactured by Cargo from Austria is from 2001. There's a really cool signboard, a lot more information about this church. Oh, it's a lighthouse on top too, that's cool. So the top isn't a bell tower, it's a lighthouse. I don't think I've ever seen a church with a lighthouse on it.
No, it's first time when I see a church with a lighthouse.
And then the bell is the largest church bell in all of Finland.
So they have multiple functions, the lighthouse and the church.
Yeah. Too bad the sign isn't in English. Oh, a little bit is. All right, this looks like we're entering the old fortress. There was a street sign that said the library, and the ballast room was over here, whatever a ballast room is. So it actually looks like a lot of these buildings are still in use as like residences or something of that nature. So we're just gonna head for the museum. This would be like a full history of Finnish military, I guess. Military museums are just a little interesting to me, just to walk through, see the different uniforms. We've got some really cool vehicles in here. World War II tanks, even down to both Allies and Axis memorabilia.
It's an interesting museum. It's informative. They tell you about the stuff. They have movies. And it's only €7 to entrance, unless you have the Helsinki card, which they let you come for free.
So when I first saw this, I thought this was a Nazi tank, but reading the sign it says the swastika was a symbol of good luck in the Finnish army in the 18th century, and it has no connection to the Nazi swastika. And it's still a blue swastika in the Finnish Air Force. It's a symbol of good luck, or it has been in Finland. I never knew that. It just shows how symbols are used all over the place.
They have 3 kron, this one, and 7.3 tons.
But what I was saying is the swastika on the side, that's a Finnish tank. It was actually used by them since the 18th century.
I think it's an interesting museum.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see
the
different uniforms.
The other side too.
Check out this Gatling gun. 4 different Gatling guns put together as a single defensive weapon. That's crazy. It looks like it was water cooled. You can see the water tubes going around them. So a lot of the stuff in here is from the 1918, 1908, 1940s, World War II. So just quickly reading some of these signs, it seems like during World War II, Finland had its own problem with Russia trying to invade. This is pretty cool. They have like the nose of a fighter jet in here. This is a Saab 35 Draken. So the second building in the military museum is dedicated to the life of the soldier, trainees, all about who has to join. All men must sign up for the military when they're 18 in Finland, and you can do military training or non-military, like a medic or something like that. You can also qualify for civilian duty if you're like a conscientious objector, but everybody has to do civil service when they turn 18.
That's strange to me, like they have to do it until they are 50 or 60 years old.
Well,
so
you're in the reserves. Means you have to stay in combat ready shape.
And they have the uniforms here.
Yeah, all the different uniforms through the years.
And more uniforms over here. The Finland uniforms.
Mm-hmm. I think that was interesting to me, is I never knew the Finnish army actually used the swastika as a symbol of good luck starting in like the 1800s. And then once again, something stolen and changed by other people. As you can see, some of the military flags here, like this one here.
It's got the swastika.
It has nothing to do with Germany or the Nazis. It was actually in use before that. This one's from 1918, I guess. It's a really cool island, like this mix of newer buildings. This is mostly the military museum with these older fortifications. It's a really cool place to come visit, and just a pretty little island.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, babe?
Yes, today we're not that lucky, so it's a windy day.
It's a windy day, but it's not rainy.
No, it's not raining, so
beautiful fall colors. If only the wind would die down. I think we're gonna go try to find the other museum that's open right now, the Suomenlinna Museum, opposed to the military museums that we already visited. I think it's this way somewhere. It's like an interactive display here explaining the history of the island.
The first fortress was in 1747, Helsinki 1739.
Oh, I see. It's in context. With the Treaty of Turku, signed in 1743, Sweden lost all of its important border fortresses to Russia. To safeguard the eastern border of the kingdom, Swedish government decided to establish a new depot fortress on the group of small islands called Susiluoto off the coast of Helsinki. In 1918, the fortress was renamed Suomenlinna Islands. The border changed from 1721 to 1743. Sweden lost its important border. The first fortress appears by King Frederick I of Sweden in 1747, is when the first fortress was built here on the island.
Construction of fortress continued for about 40 years, but was never fully completed. However, Suomenlinna was capable of defense and was, in the early of 19th century, still considered a very strong fortress. Viipuri was among the world's largest fortress of its time and one of the Swedish state's most significant construction projects ever. It was estimated to take about 7,000 men to defend the fortress.
So one thing I haven't seen yet in all these storyboards is how Finland got its independence from Sweden.
They always been surrounded by the biggest powers, Sweden and Russia, and they actually never been taken off of any. They were independent.
Yeah, I don't know when they became independent. I would guess somewhere in the 1940s or 50s, but I don't know. And it's just way too much information to read through quickly. It's interesting, the military history, but I'm not exactly a military buff. This is the coat of arms. This is cool looking. Finland declared its independence on December 6, 1917. The Fortress of Suomenlinna, as it's known at the time, nevertheless remained under the control of the Russian military for some time. During the Russian era, 1809 to 1917, the fortress had not been administratively part of the Grand Duchy of Finland. The Civil War was fought in Finland in the spring of 1918. The Russian troops on the island did not engage in hostilities. Instead, in April 1918, they gave over the island to the Finnish army and began their withdrawal from Finland. The Finnish flag was raised at the fort on May 12, 1918. So that's when Finland gained its independence, 1918.
So Sweden was independent since 1917.
Well, that's when the war started, but 1918 was the end of the war against Russia.
Yeah, so since 1918 they're independent. So I got the pie. I have to hold it with my hand because here is the birds and Ben got something else. I don't know what it is. We might eat it, we might not because the birds are taking over. I got my latte here. What did you get there?
I got a minced meat pie. It looked good and I'm hungry. Let's see, how does it look inside? Wow, lots of meat. Oh yeah.
Hey birdie. Hey birdies.
They are really aggressive little birds.
What do you think?
That's good. Sort of like sweet dough with meat inside. It's good. All right, we're done here on the island.
The car comes.
We spent about 2 hours here. We sort of ran through the museums. Now we're going to head back to Helsinki on the ferry and go check out the design museum and one other art museum.
This island, we really recommend it. It's so cute.
It is super
and the
cute.
museum, but it's a very, very windy day and it started raining now, so let's go.
Yeah, if it wasn't so windy, we'd probably stay a bit longer. Probably a couple of hours and
it's a funny weather.
around.
It's like sunny and windy and raining.
Yeah, it's a storm blowing through. You can see the sky behind me.